Knowledge is power. Power. We make it clear every Saturday morning.
All right, welcome everyone. So today we're discussing a topic that is far more common than many people realize, yet rarely is it talked about. Post-micturition dribble, or PMD for short. You might know it better as that dime-sized stain in your underwear that appears right after you think you've finished peeing. It's annoying, it can be embarrassing, but today we're going to demystify why it happens and maybe come up with some solutions on how to stop it. So, as I said, the medical term is called post-micturition dribble. Now, this is different from terminal dribble, where the flow just slows to a trickle at the end of the act. PMD happens after you leave the toilet or as you're zipping up. You feel empty, but as soon as you move or stand up, a few drops or more leak out. Kind of as our little thing shows. Flow starts, flow ends. You zip up, walk away, and whoops, you got that little drop that ends up in your underwear. Now, if you have this problem, you're not alone. Studies show wide-ranging prevalence, with some suggesting over 50% of men experiences this to some degree. While it's most common in older men, it affects young men and even women, though men are more prone to it due to their anatomy. We're going to talk a little bit more about why that is. Despite being common, many men don't report it because they find it embarrassing. So, don't let it become an embarrassing problem when it's a fixable one. So now let's talk about the anatomy and what we call the U-bend, this thing right here. So here's your bladder, here's your prostate, and this is the tube where the urine comes out through the urethra. And you can see it kind of like, if you ever looked under your sink, it kind of looks like that P-trap, for lack of a better word. But to understand why we leak, we have to look at the plumbing in men. In men, the urethra, the tube that the urine carries the urine, isn't a straight line. There's a section called the bulbar urethra, which acts like the U-bend. That's this area right here. For various reasons, a small pool of urine can get trapped in that curve after the bladder is technically empty. When you move or walk away, gravity and movement cause that trap pool to finally spill out. So that little bit of trapped urine, and that can be, a few drops to, enough that can kind of really be noticeable. So that's why we're going to talk about this. So normally your pelvic floor muscles act like a pump to milk the remaining urine out of the tube at the end of urination. If these muscles are weak or fail to contract properly, that milk out doesn't happen, leaving residue behind. Alternatively, if the external sphincter closes too early, it traps urine in the prostate area, which then leaks out as soon as the muscle relaxes. So they're talking about this area here, the continence muscle. And the other problem is, as men start to get older, this prostate gets a little bit enlarged, and it can trap a little bit of urine right in this prostate area too. You got all sorts of things that can cause this. So why do these muscles fail? Well, several factors can weaken the pelvic floor. Surgery to remove the prostate is a major cause. Obesity puts constant pressure on that area, as does chronic heavy lifting or straining from constipation or a smoker's cough. Even if you're healthy, the natural aging process can reduce the strength of these squeezing muscles. Interestingly, research has found a strong link between PMD and erectile dysfunction. They share common ground, the pelvic floor muscles. A weakened reflex during urination that normally helps discharge urine is often the same mechanism involved in maintaining erections. Addressing PMD through muscle strengthening can sometimes have a positive impact on sexual function as well. So building up these muscles can help both your erection and your lack of dribbling on yourself. The simplest way to fix this is a technique called bulbar urethral massage, or less technical, your urethral milking. So here's what you do. After you finish peeing, don't zip up immediately. Place your fingertips about an inch or two behind the scrotum on the perineum and gently press up and slide your fingers forward towards the base of the penis. This manually pushes that U-bend pool into the penile urethra so you can shake it out into the toilet rather than to your pants. So just to make this clear, what you're taking is 2 fingers here and putting them behind the scrotal sac. This area is called the perineum, and kind of pushing up. So you want to get this little trapped area to kind of give up its goods. So if you've got some urine in there, you might be able to get it to force out and then come out through the penis into the toilet. So that's the whole trick. To solve the problem long term, you need to strengthen the pump. Kegel exercises are the gold standard. To find the right muscle, imagine you're trying to stop yourself from passing gas. Squeeze that internal muscle, hold it for 3 seconds to 10 seconds, then relax it for the same amount of time. Consistency is key. It can take 3 to 6 months of practice to see a significant reduction in leakage. So it's a squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. And you want to do these squeeze 1, 2, 3, relax 1, 2, 3, squeeze 1, 2, 3, relax 1, 2, 3. That's the way you do the exercises. Now, beyond the exercises, simple habit changes can help. We talked about this in one of my UroNurse news articles, that we probably are peeing the wrong way for men. That standing up, you're tightening your pelvic floor to maintain your balance, and it's not the easiest way to empty your bladder. So you might just try sitting down. Sitting down to pee has been shown to improve bladder emptying in men, especially with men with prostate issues. Also, be patient. Allow a few extra seconds for the pipe to drain. You know, we're kind of used to, as guys, you take a leak and go. But, you know, especially as you get older, got to let it, those last extra 10 to 15 seconds. Be patient. That can make a big difference. That might come out. If you're currently dealing with significant leaking, don't be afraid to use continence pads or guards, especially designed for the male body, while you work on your muscle strengthening exercises. So all these things can help improve things. I'm going to focus a little bit on this pad use, because this is something that men are not really used to working with or doing much with. So I've got some exercises here I'm going to show you. I've set something up on the UroPatient website, uropatient.com, where I've got some supplies that I think we talked about throughout our show. I know I've talked about with you throughout my shows. One of these in particular that we're going to talk about today is this product I found called Quick Change Male Incontinence Wrap. Now, it's used for people that are usually bedbound or something where they put the penis in this little section here. But I'm going to show you a trick that I found that I think works ideal for this. A couple of drops that you might have going into your underwear that this can prevent. So let's go ahead and switch to our full screen view here. And let me go ahead and get my demo here. So I've got one of these pads here. And they are super absorbent. So I got these at a meeting I went to, and the rep gave it to me, gave me a demonstration how it works. Actually, there's an episode that you can look up about how the Quick Change works. But I found a new use for it, and that's that couple of drips that you can sometimes have, like we're talking about, that post-void micturition dribble. So if you're suffering from that, this might just do the job. And the way it works is normally the penis goes in this area right here, and then you kind of wrap it. Trying to get this so you can see it. You'd wrap it so that it catches any drips. One of the things about this is it's super absorbent. I mean, this will hold a ton of fluid. But I found a different way to do this, and I'm hopefully going to be able to demonstrate that for you. So it's got a unique shape to it. One side is flat, one's got a little wing. And the reason for that is so you know which one goes over first, which is like this. So the flat side goes into the wing side. Now, I found if you take this thing, and this little blue thing is Velcro, and it sticks perfectly to the back of their, you can probably hear that in the microphone. It sticks perfectly to the back of their thing. Now, what I do is I make it into a complete funnel. And so you can kind of see how I'm folding that back here. Here's that little Velcro piece. And here's what it looks like. Now, this can be put inside your pants. You got your penis. It kind of encompasses the penis. It gets, a little bit of the scrotum, everything. It just covers it all. Put this inside your pants. You got a couple of dribbles. they're going to land in here and not on your underwear, or worse yet, soaking through a pair of pants. This thing is a game changer. It really works. I tried it. I walked around with it myself for a day just to see how it was. And I tell you, you don't even hardly know you're wearing it, number one, which is nice because it conforms perfectly to the body. And it doesn't make any noise. And man, this thing can suck up some urine. Now, I didn't try having, an entire void inside one of these, but that little dribble here and there, man, it'll soak it up. So if you're interested, again, go to the UroPatient website and you'll find a link. Just click on it. It'll take you right over to Amazon where you can order these and buy them. I did set up a Amazon affiliate account, so help support the show if you do utilize that link. I hope this helps. Remember, this is something that's not, you need to be embarrassed about or think that you're alone. As I told you, it's something that happens to a lot of men. And this might be the solution for you. So tune in next week to learn more on UroPatient.